Badgley versus Plaintiff, which is Wayfarer Studios, and they think that she shouldn't receive any preferential treatment because she's famous.
Alright, grab your popcorn, because today we're diving into some Hollywood drama so juicy, it could replace your morning coffee. If you thought Blake Lively was all sunshine, designer gowns, and picture-perfect moments with Ryan Reynolds, well, think again. Penn Badgley just pulled back the curtain, and let's just say her Golden Girl image might not be so flawless after all. This man's got receipts, and the internet is going wild. We're here to break it all down for you, so cancel your plans and get ready for a wild ride. And hey, if you don't hit that subscribe button right now, just know that Blake might blacklist you from Hollywood. No pressure though. Picture this, fresh-faced Penn Badgley stepping onto the set of Gossip Girl, thinking he's about to live the dream. New York City, Upper East Side drama, and a role that could catapult his career into the stratosphere. What could go wrong, right? Enter Miss Blake Lively, who apparently had other plans. The moment she laid eyes on Penn, something just didn't sit right with her. Maybe it was his face, maybe it was the energy, maybe Mercury was in retrograde. Whatever the reason, she decided, nope, not on my set, and thus began what can only be described as a slow burn sabotage. But this wasn't your typical Hollywood passive-aggressive snub. Oh no, Blake went full Regina George, orchestrating a social shutdown so severe it could have been a subplot on the show itself. Word has it, she didn't just keep her distance, she actively turned the entire cast against him. Imagine stepping onto set all excited, only to realize that everyone is giving you the cold shoulder, side-eyeing you at lunch, whispering in corners, and the kicker? She later admitted to it. Yep, Blake herself confessed that she made sure Penn was isolated, like she was casting for her own personal version of Survivor, Gossip Girl edition. Now, let's be clear. Penn hadn't done anything wrong. He wasn't throwing tantrums, demanding all the green M and N's be removed from his trailer, or stealing people's wardrobe pieces. The guy was just trying to do his job, but the damage was already done. The cast, fully convinced that Blake's instincts were gospel, treated Penn like some kind of social pariah. He was basically Nate Archibald at an safety prep course, out of place, unwanted, and looking for a way out. But here's where it gets good. About a weekend, people started to realize that Penn wasn't the villain in this little Gossip Girl subplot. He was just a guy trying to make it through his first big gig. Slowly but surely, the ice thawed, and the cast started talking to him. And guess what? Turns out, he's pretty cool, funny, even so yeah. The drama between these two is more twisted than an episode of Gossip Girl. The question is, what happens next? Stay tuned, because the saga's just getting started.
You plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
By then, however, the seeds of sabotage had already been planted, and Blake had done her job. The damage was done. Penn's start on Gossip Girl was tainted, and while he eventually carved out his own space in the Gossip Girl universe, it was clear that his first days were anything but dreamy. Let's not forget the audacity of it all. Blake wielded her influence with the precision of a surgeon, turning what should have been an exciting career moment into something straight out of a high school clique war. Can you imagine having the confidence to completely ice someone out and then casually admit to it years later, like it was just another Tuesday? A Mean Girls reboot we didn't ask for, but here we are. Sure, Penn survived. But you can't help but wonder, did Blake ever get nervous that her little social coup would one day come back to haunt her? Because, you know you love me. Fast forward a few years, and guess who's Hollywood's Golden Girl? Blake. And guess who practically disappeared off the map? Penn. Coincidence? I think not. Blake, now conveniently married to Ryan Reynolds, aka Hollywood's most likable man, had the industry wrapped around her perfectly manicured finger, while Penn was out here getting ghosted harder than your last Tinder date. And it wasn't just Penn. There's a pattern here. Look at the Ends With Us drama. Justin Baldoni, the movie's director, suddenly found himself iced out by Blake and company, just like Penn back in the day. Colleen Hoover? She was so embarrassed by the mess that she dipped from social media, deleted every trace of Blake from her Instagram, and is probably somewhere reconsidering all of her life choices. Blake hit that unfollow button so fast, she probably got carpal tunnel. But here comes the plot twist of the century. After all that alleged Penn hating, Blake didn't just tolerate him. She dated him for 3 whole years. 3 years. You mean to tell me she went from making his life a living nightmare to playing the smitten, hand-holding, paparazzi giggling girlfriend? Either she had a serious change of heart, or she was method acting her way through that relationship like it was her most challenging role yet. And then, because this drama clearly needed another splash of scandal, she dumped him and practically sprinted into Ryan Reynolds' arms at Olympic speed, faster than you minimize your Netflix tab when your boss sneaks up behind you. But wait, it gets even spicier. Some leaked messages suggest that Blake might have had a soft spot for none other than Justin Baldoni too. So let's break it down. Did Did she actually despise Penn? Or was this all a masterfully executed chess move? Was she just stringing him along until she could secure a better Hollywood upgrade? Look, we're not saying she's Regina George in designer heels, but we're also not saying it. One thing's for sure, if this were teen drama, Blake would be the queen bee pulling all the strings, and we'd all be sitting there eating popcorn, watching the chaos unfold.
Did Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have an affair on the set? They're revealing what went. So it actually makes a lot of sense. Well, according to a woman named Gabrielle Hurst, a source she has that worked on the set of Dance with That, there's a number of different details on Reddit about what was on the set of Dance with That. Apparently people were afraid of her, and when it came to approaching her trailer, it was like poking the hornet's nest. We've heard for years she gets to work with if you would do all the sets. Apparently, they're claiming, yes, that's all true. She allegedly got 2 sets of 80s fighters. It was actually worse than what her reputation preceded. Apparently, he didn't have a strong enough backbone to really put her in her place. He tried to appease her, which now makes sense. Like, whose husband just don't watch wife? She didn't go on camera. He claimed that if anything, people would walk all over Justin Baldoni. He was too.
Speaking of people out here burning bridges like it's a bonfire party, let's talk about Alabama Barker. Apparently, Hollywood beef isn't just for the A-listers anymore. This teenager just dropped a diss track so savage, the internet had to pause, rewind, and gasp in unison. But who was her target, you ask? None other than Bad Baby, aka the Cash Me Outside girl, aka the walking, talking embodiment of pure, unfiltered chaos. That's right, Alabama didn't just throw shade. She launched a full-on lyrical attack, and it wasn't subtle in the slightest. Now, if you're wondering how we got here, let's rewind. The drama between these two has been simmering for a while, cryptic Instagram posts, low-key jabs, and enough side-eye-worthy moments to fill an entire reality TV season. But Alabama clearly decided she was done playing coy and went straight for the jugular, calling out Bad Baby in a way that left zero room for misinterpretation. And let's just say, the internet ate it up. TikTok detectives immediately started dissecting every line, Twitter had a meltdown, and fans on both sides were ready to pick a fight like it was the Super Bowl of teenage drama. Naturally, Bad Baby wasn't about to take that line down. Nope, she clapped back so fast, you'd think she had the diss track pre-written in her notes app. She accused Alabama of being fake, a liar, and basically made it clear that if they ever cross paths, it's on sight. And let's be real, knowing Bad Baby's track record, she's not just talking. This is the same person who posted a video of herself fighting her own mom for the internet's entertainment. So if Alabama wants to keep this beef going, she might want to invest in a security team or at least a helmet. And because this saga wouldn't be complete without some family drama, let's check in on Bad Baby's ongoing battle with her mom, Barbara. Would you believe that after all their Debbie-style showdowns, Barbara is now suddenly defending her daughter? Yep. Apparently, she's had enough of Bad Baby's ex, Levin, who she claims has been manipulating her daughter, isolating her from her family, and playing puppet master with her career and bank account. If true, this guy is out here running scams like it's his full-time job. But before we start applauding Barbara for finally stepping up, let's not forget this is the same woman who, according to multiple sources, has a history of prioritizing men over her own child. Levin even brought up some incidents that should have never been used as clapback material, essentially airing out family trauma like it's a reality show reunion. At the end of the day, one thing is clear, Hollywood is messy. Whether it's Blake Lively allegedly sabotaging Penn Badgley, Alabama Barker and Bad Baby ready to throw hands, or Barbara suddenly acting like Mother of the Year, this town thrives on drama, and we eat it up. So, if you made it this far, congratulations, you're officially in too deep. You might as well hit that subscribe button, because at this point, you need to stay updated. Otherwise, you'll be the only one at brunch who doesn't know what's going on. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be that person. But before you go, let's be real. Hollywood drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. So if you don't hit that like button, just know that somewhere right now, Blake Lively is probably plotting your downfall too. Don't say we didn't warn you. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.